Today we're going to be learning how to do the makaco, the back bend and the back handspring, the back bridge, the back flip, all of the above in a single video. And I bet you're wondering, how do we do that? Well, follow this 10-minute video and you're going to be learning it in no time. So the first thing we're going to be working on is the sissy squat. So really work on getting on your toes from standing, right? Just like that. And you want to be able to pull your knees as forward as you can so that you can get to the floor. Right? Lean back so that you don't put too much pressure on the knees when you fall. You can come back up. To make this easier, all you need to do is put your hands behind you, get your chest out, and really fall back to your hands, right? You don't want to put too much pressure on that. Now, in order to go back up, you have to put your hips forward. You have to lean in onto your forward knee. And you can go forward here, and you can come up that way. If you see yourself falling back like that, that means that you need to work on the leg stability, right? So really work on that, going down, boom, and then back up. I have an injury right over here on my ankle and Achilles, so I'm going to be doing my best not to do anything too stringent. So this is perfect for beginners. So what we're going to be really working on is when we're going back in our sissy squat, we want to make sure that we're going back in one arm and then coming back up. One arm, coming back up, right? And this is going to allow you to start switching arms, right? So you go down, perfect. So those are two exercises that you can start on right now. And I recommend just getting in the flow, trying to get into that sissy squat, because the next thing we're going to start working on is the back bend. So for the back bend, you want to get the heels as close as you can to your butt. You want to lay back, have your hands straight up, pull it right next to your ears, get your hips nice and engaged. You're going to pull towards your butt, and you're going to pull your head towards your butt also, right here, right? Now again, you want to get your feet as close as you can together, engage your hips and push, and then you want to push out into your shoulders, right? You shouldn't feel any pinch in your lower back, so really be careful to be back here. Try to really push out, right? And then you come back down, and then you're here, right? So the back bend, or the back bridge, is going to allow you to get the flexibility you need for the makaco. If we can get into this, I'm going to call this the crab position. Right? This allows you to reach up and get your hips going upwards, driving, right? Now this position, if you look around your shoulder, allows you to look at the ground, and if you keep going and you bend your arm a little, you can actually reach around into the back bend, right? So really get good at that. Reaching up, over, and then stretching. You don't have to go all the way around. Just get used to that feeling and do it on both sides. Really get used to going up and looking for that ground. Bend, look for the ground, and then come around. So now we're going to try it from this way. Again, up, around, and I'm twisting and swiveling my hand. You can't really see it, but I'm doing this with my hand so that I can go around, and then I can look at you, right? Now once you get here, you can get back here pretty easily, and then sissy squat. Whew, that's a workout. So how are we going to turn this into a workout? On the count of 3, you're going to try to do 5 sissy squats and 5 back bends, right? So let's give it a try. Ready? So 1, 2, 3, go. Engage, pull it back, knees down, boom, and up, right? If you need to use something assisted, you can hold on to something while you're doing your sissy squat and controlled. Boom, and up. Boom, and up. Boom, and up. As you notice, I put my arm in front to kind of counterbalance, and I can reach forward if I need to get up. But my goal is to pull my hips forward so that I can get right above my heels so that I can kick here. So again, the sissy squat is going to allow you to get into the back bend really easily. So again, you're going to get down into your sissy squat, right? Boom, hand down, look around, touch, right? Now this hand has to swivel, and then you come this way, right? That allows you to go both ways, right? Again, this is that crab walk. Up, around, over. Up, around, over, right? Oh. You want to do this about 5 times. If you can't back bend, then it's totally fine. Just keep working on this. If this is hurting your wrists, I will show you a couple wrist exercises, but you need to be able to work on this motion. Boom. Now we're gonna work on turning that motion, again, into the makaco. So the makaco, again, is when you put your hand facing away from you, and you're gonna step away, right? For me, I'm gonna go 1 here, 2, and then look, now I'm in this position, my hand can stay here, right? And I can even come back around, right? So the goal is, with the makaco, to be able to jump off of 1 foot and land into that position. 1, 2, all right? And the more you practice that, the more up you can drive yourself, the more back you'll go. On driving those hips up, and eventually be able to look back. But at first you want to look to the side, over your shoulder, right? If I'm on my right, looking over this shoulder. So watch where I'm looking if I'm doing a regular monkey flip. Look at that. Looking over to the side. Now if I do a straight back over, right? And go up. As you can see, I look straight back at you, right? Really focus on getting that nice arch, right? And then looking for the floor and tapping, right? So when you throw and tap, 1 tap, 1 tap. Look at that. You can kind of hold it there for a long time. And if you pull your hips in, it should pull you over, to be honest, right? So you're here. What's the difference between a sissy squat, which is going here and down, and what's the difference between that and then the back bend, which is coming here and down? What's the difference, right? I want you guys to really focus on that. When you're going down with your sissy squat, look over your shoulder and look at how close you are to the ground. If you reach straight down here, if you reach around like you're gonna do the back bend, you can actually do the back bend more than you think. So again, sissy squat, knees, pull your back here, and then look around to your side, boom, right? Boom, you're right here. And you can push into this, right? And that gets you into these positions that you need, right? Isn't that awesome? The back bridge is when you're starting from here, right? And then you go up into this position. And then the back bend is when you start from the up position, right? And then you come here, right? And then again, you can get into pretty much every position here, but as long as you can learn the sissy squat, crab stance, and this nice little arch here, you're gonna be going around. Another thing you can do is, if you're in this position, you can scorpion over, right? And really practice that, right? So you get your hand down, leg up, and you arch it out, and then you can get into that position I'm talking about. Scorpion, out. And again, this is that position that gets you into the makaco. Just make sure that you're practicing that sissy squat, practicing the back bend, which is standing to the back bridge, and then really trying to figure out, how do I get into that back bridge from standing? Because if you can do it from standing, then you can start doing the straight arm transition, which is the back handspring. Because all you're doing when you're doing the back bend is you're going from this position, extending your hips out, and then going into your hands and straightening your arms so that you're nice and locked, right? So really think about that. If I threw my arms as hard as I could right here and locked it, and then I drove my hips up, what would happen, right? So I'll show you. Throw my arms back, up, lock it, drive my hips up. Ready, set, here, go. It's so interesting because a lot of people think the back handspring is hard, but it's actually the easiest one to do because you finish it halfway. Just you sitting here finishes the back bend and the back handspring, right? So as long as you're not scared of catching your hands, even though my wrist is hurting, I still can catch that because it's not a lot of pressure. It's usually in your shoulders and in your wrists, right? So right here, you throw, lock, and then you can do pretty much everything after that. In order to turn that into a backflip, it's just really tucking, to be honest. But back handsprings go back, right? Because you're trying to go from here, throwing your head back to hit the floor. Versus backflip, you're trying to throw your head up and your chest up, right? And again, if you just tuck midway of a back handspring, it'll turn into a backflip, right? So from right here, and I go 1, 2, I just tuck. It throws me around. So if you wanted to learn how to do a backflip, this is the video for you. Just start practicing a little bit of these movements every day for the next month, and you will know how to do a backflip, because these movements teach you how to not be scared, right? How to understand the motion. And even if it's not the correct way to do it in gymnastics, it is a cool way to learn it, because I don't like the idea of just throwing a backflip. Backflips are dangerous, but they're super easy. You can even do them from like super low, right? So that's the idea. They're super fun, super exciting. And again, I'm injured and I can still do these things. So get out there, start practicing, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.